Hello, my Earth Angels. Welcome to your reading for the full moon in Libra. Thank you for being here. So, it's quite an exciting reading for you guys. There's something big happening for you here. If you've joined me from Instagram or TikTok, then you already have an idea of the message. So I'll just summarize that for anyone that's coming from YouTube and see if any other messages come through while I'm doing that. And then we will move on to the deeper dive and see what else is shifting for you under this full moon energy. So to begin with, we've got the Two of Cups in the middle here. So you are really looking at your relationships right now, but specifically your Two of Cups relationships. So we're talking about best friends, colleagues that you love and adore, that you work with every day, business partners, obviously romantic partners as well, maybe somebody you're married to, somebody you're going out with, or people that you would like to have more of that connection with. And I see you here with these two cards, with the Moon, the Seven of Wands. You are really desiring partnerships where you can be really open and you can go deep with each other. And I see you as somebody that's already done quite a lot of spiritual work on yourself. And so, you know, you yourself are able to experience intimacy on a very deep level. Why? Because, you know, you can do that with yourself. You are not afraid of your shadows. You're not afraid of going deep and seeing what comes up. You've done a lot of healing work is what I'm feeling, and you need to be in connection with other people who are at the same level in terms of spiritual development. Not that like you've done all your healing and you're all perfect. I don't mean that. I mean, you know, you've gone beyond what most people have in terms of exploring your depths, exploring your shadows and, you know, your past issues and all of that. And I also see that you are very yourself, you are a very loyal person. So when you're with somebody, you are all in. When you choose somebody, you choose them. You're like, I'm with you. I'm here for the ride. I will look after you. I will protect you. I will guard you with my life, you know, that kind of thing. You do have that fierce loyalty about you. And so you are realizing under this moon that you also desire that from somebody else, whether it's a friend or romance. That's what you need from other people. Because I feel like, you know, you've experienced situations in the past where you have been very open, very deep, showing your full self to somebody, opening up, and also you have demonstrated a deep loyalty to them. You know, if it was romance, then you were only loyal to them. You didn't even look at another person. And I feel like you've ended up being maybe disappointed in, you know, your friends or your partners in that they couldn't meet you at that level. And I think under this moon, you're okay with that. Like, you don't blame yourself or those people for that happening. But I just see that you're becoming clearer that that is what you want and desire from somebody. And that's beautiful because that's equal then. You know, you want somebody that can match your level of intensity and also loyalty, which is beautiful, guys. I love that. With the Three of Wands, I see you as somebody who's already on a path. You know, kind of, even if you're not exactly sure where you're ending up, you have an idea of where you're going now. It may have taken you a while to get there, but you do have an idea. With the Ace of Swords, the truth that is being illuminated for you under this moon is that you need to surround yourself with connections that work, where you kind of just work together. It's not difficult. You want supportive partnerships. And that doesn't necessarily mean people that you're going to see every day. It just means the people that you do interact with, support your progress, support your journey, and support you in some way to build the empire that you are building with the King of Pentacles here. You desire this, you know you want it, you want to feel comfortable, you want to be able to provide everything for the people that you love and for yourself. And ultimately, you want this King of Pentacles energy for yourself so that you can then enjoy your life a lot more and be of service to people. And that's what you're realizing. That's the truth that is coming through for you. With the Ace of Cups here, clarified by the wheel, we are under this moon, it's just like a whole new revolutionary way of doing love, if that makes sense. I feel like you're releasing your old way of being in connections, whatever that was. We can get so used to that. We can get so used to the way that we interact, even the way we kind of respond to texts or, you know, phone calls and all of that, what we allow, what we don't allow, you know, how we communicate, what's okay with us and what isn't. And you're just, it's like a whole revamp, reboot of the way that you do love. I feel that you just cannot tolerate surface level stuff anymore. If we're talking about friends or at work, you just can't do that small talk anymore. It's just no, can't do it. Can't be around people who just kind of want to be around you because you look good or you make them feel good. That's not enough for you anymore. If you're talking about romance, people who are physically attractive but lack substance, lack depth, lack the ability to have accountability for themselves or to go deep and see their own kind of self. And, you know, people that are just flaky and, you know, 1 minute they're there and 1 minute they're not. If somebody else takes their fancy or somebody else is in their ear, then they completely forget about the fact that they're loyal to you. You can't do that anymore either. You know, you're just kind of coming into this realization of what you deserve ultimately is what I'm feeling. You deserve what you give. You deserve to receive what you give. And that is becoming clear to you under this full moon. It's a very lovely, guys, just like you. What medicine does this full moon have for you? For us, I should say, I am a Taurus sun and I am a Virgo moon. I do have quite a bit of fire energy in my chart as well, but, you know, in my big three, there's 2 earth signs. My Virgo moon I really struggle with sometimes. It's a tricky one. That Page of Pentacles is coming out a lot in my readings at the moment. The student, the little nervous student. What are you, so what are we, this is actually what are we being guided to focus on? Equal give and take with the 6 of Pentacles. 10 of Wands, 4 of Cups. Okay. So with these two coming out together, it's like well, this is equal give and take, right? 6 of Pentacles. So we're looking at, as I was just saying, people only allowing in people who can give give to us what we can give to them. It doesn't mean that they necessarily give the same thing. It's just that you kind of complement each other. So for example, I am thinking now of a very good friend of mine, and actually we are very different in a lot of ways. We don't necessarily see a huge amount of each other, But when we do, there's just kind of like some kind of mutual support there. There's something about me and about my energy that she finds supportive and helpful. And then it's the same for me with her. And it's really a beautiful thing because there's no, in a way, it's a very easy dynamic, but it's also a dynamic that supports growth. And so we are being guided to focus on that and focus on maybe learning about that as well. Like, how can we be that more for the people in our lives, maybe? You know, how can we learn how to do that? You know, are we giving as much as we are receiving, or are we receiving as much as we are giving? And how can we kind of change that if we need to? How can we address that? And it's interesting because, like, at the moment, there is this real kind of Leo Aquarius vibe. I know this is a full moon in Libra, but it's like there's this vibe of really going for what we want with the Leo and showing up fully and being ourselves and expressing our true nature and being proud of that. And there's also the Aquarius vibe, which is on the opposite axis, and that's all about what can we do for the community? How can we serve? How can we be part of the community? And how does our our natural gifts, then how are we allowing them to be seen in our world and be shown? So it's like a balancing out of what we give out and what we are receiving, but also a balancing of being sort of alone and shining on our own, but also being part of a wider circle. Yeah, okay. With the Ten of Wands and the Four of Cups, what else are we focusing on? I think we are being guided to focus on the things that feel heavy right now and the things that feel disappointing, or where we might be allowing ourselves to feel that way. And that's always a good thing to do. Let's just have one more for that Ten of Wands. What is it that may be heavy at the moment under this full moon for us earth signs? But I have to say, if you're here and you're watching this reading, it is for earth signs, but if this reading found you and you don't have earth in your big three, or even your big six, that doesn't really matter. There could be a message in here for you anyway. So Ten of Wands, Two of Pentacles. Yeah, how our decisions are causing heaviness. So what decisions are we making, or have we made, that are actually making our life more difficult, more burdensome? Perhaps this is conversations that we need to have to clear stuff up. Perhaps it's things in our physical world. Maybe we need to clear out our closet, or clear stuff up in that way. Maybe it's financial. Maybe there's financial stuff we need to clear up. But what decisions? Yeah, it's focusing on that and having a look at that and being like, okay, what can I actually release? What's going to make my life feel less heavy? Just going to put that on top there. Okay, I don't think we need any more for that. So it's looking at how we can come more into balance, really, as a whole, and what we can release, what's heavy. That one's just flipped out again. It's really important. Let's leave you there then. You want to be shown. It's about balance. Yeah. So it's not just giving and receiving in terms of our close connections, but it is in terms of the community as well. And it's like, even here, like doing these readings here and the channel, I'm so conscious of and so grateful for and appreciative of the people that come in, that have subscribed to me, that actually want to be receiving, you know, what I have to offer and find it valuable in some way. And at the same time, you know, I'm receiving, I can feel like the gratitude from you guys as you're watching as well. And that's a beautiful thing. And also, you know, I just really want to, oh, Five of Swords. This is it. This is a big card for some reason. Maybe there's something out of balance here that you know about that's causing you a bit of headache. And this has been coming up in my readings quite a lot, where there's a conversation that needs to be had with somebody that would really help balance the energy a bit. Like forgiveness is something that's coming up quite a bit as well. Sorry, I sort of lost my thread there because I was talking about the channel and everything, but we'll continue with the reading because I don't want to, I want to continue with the flow. So the next thing that we are looking at is, what are we embracing, or what are we guided to embrace under this moon? Eight of Pentacles. What is really important to us? What are we working towards? What is the ultimate goal? With the King of Swords, let's get honest about that. Let's get brutally honest about that, and let's communicate that. Oops. Oh, excuse me. Who are we communicating it to? Guys, people that are holding us back. People who are moving too slowly. Guys, this is what was coming through in the beginning. I feel like we have connections in our lives that are no longer really supporting us where we need to go, and they are perhaps actually causing friction because they're kind of holding on, they're kind of making things go more slowly than they need to go with the Knight of Pentacles here. And this can happen, and I feel like we need to communicate that, or that's what we're being asked to. We're asked to embrace that. Okay, we're being asked to embrace that. So embrace the fact that conversations need to be had around people or things that are holding us back from our path, and being honest about that, because it can be hard, guys. You know, if it's somebody in your family, or if it's somebody that you've been friends with for like 20 years and you've got all this past history, to communicate that, you know, you're going in a certain direction, or just to make it clear that, you know, you don't want to do the same things that you used to anymore, can be really hard, you know, especially if you are an empathic person, which you are if you're watching this. You don't want to hurt someone's feelings. And I don't think you're being guided to do that. You're being guided to do it in a compassionate way. But yeah, it's time to move on, guys. Nine of Swords with the World. This is a new cycle. We are coming out of Nine of Swords energy. We're coming out of disappointment, but also wasted overthinking. I feel like sometimes people and situations can be, when they're no longer right for us, it just causes a heaviness, and it almost causes a distraction. There's too much noise with their, yeah. And I feel like you're just embracing moving away from that. But I do also feel that there's a cycle that needs to close, and maybe somebody, this could be a specific message for somebody, that you need to have a conversation with someone. It's coming through in all my readings where that person for some reason has not understood something that you've done or something that you've said, and they've taken it a certain way, or they're feeling upset because of something, and there's a conversation that needs to be had around that, where you are being forgiving and compassionate to them about the way that they are feeling. And it's going to change everything when you do that. So overall, what we are being asked to embrace is, I think actually it's about just honesty and compassion in our connections, not being harsh with the truth, but also having some kind of communication rather than leaving people in the dark when it comes to our intentions and our feelings, and also understanding theirs and understanding where they're coming from. Yeah, instead of just waiting for the right time to have that conversation, or avoiding having that conversation. Okay, how are you expanding under this moon? That's my next question. So we know that we are maybe having to have some conversations here. But how are we expanding? How is it helping us to expand? The Hermit. Oopsies. Oh my goodness. Trying to get my camera in the right place so it doesn't mess with my shuffling. How are we expanding? We're expanding our inner world. I do feel that actually. So we've got the Hermit, and then we've got, let's put them, they came out, this is the order that they came out in. We're expanding our inner world, our understanding of what's important to us in that sense. And how we can nurture that, like maybe meditating more, maybe spending more time alone, more time in nature. We're understanding the importance of that to us. I do feel like that our consciousness, which is, we become more conscious when we are in the hermit state, you know, when we are in contemplation and reflection. So I feel like our consciousness is expanding under this moon, our awareness. This is about masculine energy. Emperor is all four kings. So we are expanding it's like our ability to have control over our inner and outer world is what I'm feeling. That we understand the need for some type of plan. It kind of makes sense, guys, just before we move into all this Aries energy, when we're going to be taking a lot of action, there needs to be a plan. We're expanding that side of ourselves. We're also having more compassion, I feel, understanding the past. That's what this feels like to me. Understanding where we came from and having sort of love and compassion for the child that we were and how much we've grown. We're expanding that. but also not just for us, but for everyone around us. You know, we're kind of understanding everyone's had their own path and journey to get here. And let me just get one more for the Ten of Wands, that blooming Ten of Wands. Something is heavy. It's really coming out a lot, that. Okay, being vulnerable, it's that again. That's how I'm seeing it. We're expanding in terms of letting go of the burden of, you know, needing to be right all the time, needing to be on top all the time, needing to know it all the time, needing to be seen in a certain way. We're letting go of that. We need to be a bit more, we're learning under this moon that we are wanting to be a bit more vulnerable, more ourselves. It's okay to be like that. You know, that's what I'm feeling. You know, because none of us is none of us is perfect, and we've all got our own way of looking at the world, and everyone's experience is valid. Okay, so now we are moving on to what should we be avoiding under this full moon, and then we're going to move on to guidance, and then we're going to move on to oracle. What should we be avoiding? Ego. Queen of Wands. Know it all. Page of Swords in the reverse. Not being curious. So being mostly, we should avoid. It is ego. Sometimes it's read as confidence, but here I feel it's like only thinking about ourselves and not thinking about other people. And only thinking about how we look, you know, what impression we're making. And Page of Swords in reverse, avoiding, we should avoid not being curious, not wanting to know more, just... It's almost like I can't speak today. A feeling of not caring about anyone else but ourselves. Interesting. I'm going to use another deck to clarify that, Queen of Wands. But it does make sense. So I feel like we're having this kind of surge of understanding about ourselves and about everyone else. We're understanding more what we want from relationships, but I think we're being reminded to be compassionate whilst we are realizing this with the Lovers here. Oh my God, yeah. We're making choices. We are choosing new partners. We are aware of what we deserve and what we want and what we desire. But we're being reminded that it's not just about us, it's also about the other person. And, you know, because these geese are flying off in one direction, but they had a whole flock with them here. And it's like, okay, it's really beautiful that they want to be together and they're going to fly off and enjoy their life. But they do need to consider all of the flock, everyone that's connected to them, and how, you know, how those relationships are equally significant. So it's interesting because right at the beginning of this reading, it was all about, okay, we know what we want, we know what we deserve, we're not taking these people with us, we are taking these. But now we're getting to this point in the reading where the universe is reminding us, yes, it's beautiful that you're choosing yourself and you know what you want, etc., etc. But don't be a little bitch about it, right? Don't be a bitch about it. It's again what I was talking about. It's about being confident and knowing what you want, but also being compassionate and caring, you know. Yeah. Give me a page, another one for the Page of Swords in the reverse. Yeah. You know, if you don't even take anyone else into consideration and get curious about, well, where is this person coming from? And how do they feel about this situation? And how do they view it? And what do they need from me? And what do they deserve to get from me? And how do they see our connection and what it means to them? If we're not doing that, we're going to leave other people feeling a bit Nine of Swordsy, a bit confused, a bit all over the place, because, you know, they're looking at the new version of us going, well, you know, look at her, look at him, that's great, but, you know, yeah, it's just a feeling of like really bearing in mind, although we are moving forward, that there are other people involved here and they matter. We all matter. That's a very clear message there. Okay, I love it. I love that message. Thank you, cards. Thank you, Spirit. What is the guidance moving forward for Earth signs? Okay. Six of Swords in reverse, Seven of Swords, and Four of Swords. Right, I'm going to clarify those. What is this you're giving me? Double clarification on the Four of Swords. We are healing relationships. We are not just moving away in the boat with the Six of Swords. We are not just getting in the boat and saying goodbye to the past and off we go and leaving everything in a mess behind. We're not doing that. That's the guidance, because our connections and our conversations that we're having can be healing, and we are still healing. It's not about just, well, off I trot. Right, Seven of Swords, before I talk about that, let's clarify. But I feel like if this is guidance, we're being asked to Six of Swords again, Eight of Wands. It's being, I feel like it's about going, I know this sounds crazy because it's not the normal way of looking at the Seven of Swords, but it's about going back and having a look at something. To me, it's about Six of Swords and Eight of Wands. There's a conversation that needs to be had about moving forward with somebody. We need to go back and look at that. We need to talk to people. We may need to have, it almost feels like a secret conversation, guys, because that's what Seven of Swords energy is. It's secretive. Maybe I'm trying to put this into context, but perhaps you've met somebody, right? This is just an example. And you're like, wow, this is the person for me. Romantic, or it could be a friend. You're like, whoa, okay, this is cool. Right, lucky me. I'm so excited I've met this person, and I've been wanting to manifest a connection like this for ages, and here I am. Right, off I go. But the universe is saying, but listen, you can't just, you know, you may need to go and talk to some people that still are in your life about what you're doing and about the fact that you're moving forward with this person. This is communication with the Eight of Wands. It's like, hold your horses. Why is the Four of Swords here, universe? Why is it here? Yeah. is Three of Pentacles. Okay, healing over, it's healing relationships again. It just keeps coming out. This is guidance. So it's heal those connections, heal. Yeah. Yeah, you're healing through having these conversations. That's what I'm feeling, through connecting with these people in your life. You need to do this before you can move on. Full moons are about release. So I think with all the guidance here of not moving on straight away because healing conversations need to be had, not moving on straight away because healing conversations need to be had, not moving, you know, healing through connection. It's just a repeating message. It's the universe is guiding us to, it's like, use this moon energy to release gently whatever needs to be released. If that's a feeling with a person, a conversation, or clearing something up, or just, yeah, just being honest. You know, sometimes we overthink things so much, and it's just so much easier when you can just be honest about something. And I think a lot of people are sometimes scared of how someone's going to react when they say something, but it's better to have that conversation than not. Yeah. Look, guys, I wasn't planning to pull, but look, we have the power with the Magician to do something about this heartbreak. To go after our dreams, but also to have a new perspective on, you know, on this heartbreak and on what we really want. To look at it in a new way. We have the power to do that with the Magician. And look at all these major arcana. It's like these three cards here is the moon helping us. The moon is helping us to take control here, to manifest what we want. It's also helping us to see things in a new light, to see things from all perspectives, ours and the other person and everyone around us. And it's also helping us to balance our connections. All of our connections deserve to have some kind of like truth and balance, and honesty and truth will balance them out, is what I'm feeling. Oh my goodness, guys. Yeah. I'm just repeating myself now because the cards are just telling us so clearly what we need to do. Right, let's move on now to the Oracle cards. I have got a really nice deck, guys. Look how beautiful this is. This is the Spellcasting Oracle deck. And it's my new one. And we're going to see what it wants to tell us. What do you want to tell us? Do you know what I really love about doing these readings, guys? Is that right now, I don't want to jinx it, but right now it's quite a small, you know, intimate little reading. There's only a few of you here, which means I can connect more deeply with you. Animals. That's a beautiful card, isn't it? Oh, look, is that a wolf or a dog? Look at that. That's like look at that cat there. He's like really angry. This is what I'm feeling though. It's like you're choosing the new dog and you're like, wow, oh, I've got this beautiful new dog. Oh my goodness. And it loves me and it's great and it feels good. Oh, I'm so happy about it. And the cat's like, from the past, the cat that you already had's like, well, what about me? You know, and it's bearing that in mind. Like if you're moving into a new connection, there's going to be people that are going to have feelings about it. And, you know, it's being aware of that, not just giving all of our attention to this one. But anyway, that's my intuitive reading. Let's read the book. Message from the book. You often feel that you would much prefer the company of furry and feathered friends to that of the human variety. You understand animals are special, for they hold no judgment, only a pure love that radiates on a cosmic level. Show your appreciation of their loyalty and personal qualities by taking time out with an animal companion or playing with a beloved pet. The love you share with animals is special and continues when they pass over, as they remain faithfully by your side in spirit. Losing an animal companion who's wandered far from home is a heartbreaking worry. Your prayers for protection will guide them safely back at this time. And the magical meanings are: train as an animal healer and communicator, support and campaign for animal charities, a deceased animal companion is still very much with you, and an animal brings healing. So I don't know if there's a special message in there for someone, particularly if you feel guided towards that kind of work with animals, if that's something that you are gifted with. It may be. It may be. But as a collective message, it does kind of echo in a way. It does kind of work with what we've been receiving, in that, you know, animals are very innocent. Like their kind of love is, it kind of reminds us what unconditional love is. And sometimes we can forget that when we get too much in our ego and we want what we want for our own selfish reasons. And maybe this is a reminder, if it's not a message about animals specifically or being an animal healer, which it could be for you, but if it's not that, another interpretation could be that being around animals might help us to kind of soften and remember that unconditional love when we're dealing with other people who we need to have conversations with. Or it could be just to remember that, you know, everybody is just like, maybe see everybody like a little loyal dog or like an angry kitty. You know how they say that if you're like in an argument with somebody that you love, that it's really helpful to kind of see them as a little child, because it kind of removes all the crazy stuff that we've learned, that conditioning that's kind of producing that reaction. And I feel like that's the vibe. It's like, remember that we all were little children. You know, whatever is going on in your connections, or however you view these people, or what's happened between you. Right, the next oracle we're going to read from is the Angel Number Oracle. And this one, let's just move the doggy down there. I do like to finish with an oracle because tarot can be quite blunt. Can be. 1031, Passion. Ooh. Angel Number Oracle. Here we go. I'm going to read from the book. Heads up, your life is happening like right now. It's time to stop going through the motions and live with intention. Begin by adding something small but meaningful to each day. Consistency is key. Even if it's only a few minutes at first, any time you devote to your well-being is worth it. You're the only one who can take the actions that bring you closer to the life that you are dreaming of. And it says, zest for life, enthusiasm, innovation, living intentionally, savouring the moment, facing obstacles in your path with courage, and committing to consistent practices. And the affirmation is, I am so grateful for each moment of joy in my life. Oh, I love it, guys. Listen, this reading has been like Libra, right? It's been about self and others. It's been about fighting for what we want, but also taking others into consideration. It's just this kind of balance that we're being asked to access. And I think that's really beautiful. I'm just going to pull from my little cards here, my little affirmation. They're not really affirmations, they're more like just random messages. Like channeled messages that I have been collecting over the years. And I created these cards. What have we got? You know what you need to do. We do know what we need to do. I feel like, yeah, it would be good for us to allow ourselves to be more, you know, to connect to our inner world a bit more, like with the hermit that we saw earlier on, and to allow time to, you know, promote our own self-care and well-being. And when we do that, we feel better, we feel more balanced, and we feel more able to, you know, have those conversations with people that we need to have without, you know, feeling unbalanced or resentful or whatever, because we're taking care of ourselves, and we're also more connected to our intuition. And when we're connected to our intuition, then we know what we need to do. We don't question it. We just feel like this is the right thing to do here. Whew. So that was a beautiful reading, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did find this reading helpful in any way, or you just enjoyed watching it, I always appreciate a thumbs up and a like, and subscribe if you haven't already and you would like to see more readings like this, and to join the community and help build it so we can connect more. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching and for being here with me and allowing me to connect with you in this way. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm wishing you the most beautiful and blessed and abundant full moon in Libra, and I will see you soon. Bye.